Here's how they line up for race 1 for the NZ V8 Utes with the marble draw for race 1. Peter Robb and David Kernahan from the front row. Series rookie Andrew Waite alongside James Huggy Urquhart. Row 3 start for Australian Rob Jarvis. He's returning alongside Jeff Spencer. Then it's back to Peter Chaos Ward and Graham Byrne. Simon Byrne second in the points alongside Precious Scott McKelvey. Then it's Jeff Kernahan, Chris Pither, who is third in the points from grid 12. Then Mike Lightfoot and Kane Lobb, the championship leader from row number 7. Get ready for action with the NZ V8 Ute Challenge. First race from mighty Manfeild. Chris Pither, his 5th consecutive pole, but he's going to be starting it a little bit deeper in this first race with the marble draw for race number 1, Clint.
Yes, Peter Robb, the rocket man, he won the pole, and straight away one of the guys in the crits and his crew said, wouldn't you know it, after all these years, he's finally become a pole dancer, eh?
So the rocket man off grid position 1. We got Dirty Dave Kernahan from the outside of the front row. The championship battle is going to continue here as we go. Lights out and go racing. Great start from Huggy from the 2nd row. And SOS gets a run up the inside.
Yes, and the rocket man straight out of the Hill Country helicopter. He wants to be a V8 showstopper, but look at Huggy from the Big Ben Utes taking the outside line.
Oh, it's busy further back on board with Simon Byrne, 2nd in the points. I think they've all managed to get through turn 1 unscathed, but now they're going to try and negotiate the S's and the daunting splash corner, which is a lot tighter than what it looks when you're standing right beside the race circuit.
Car 48, Andrew Waite taking over the Chris Handley Holden Ute. Chris continues to make good recovery from his back injury. The Gypsy, the local hero from Palmerston North, tries to bury down the inside.
Well, he's trying to make hay down there off the grass as we're on board now with Mike Lightfoot, Buzz and the BSL Racing Ford. That's Peter Chaos Ward just to his right. And
in his pre-event info, he said, does wrecking a bridge count? That's how he warmed up for this race at Manfeild.
Of course, Peter Ward is the boss of Ward Demolition. Wrecking a bridge, that's cool.
It was a knockout. And Simon Junior Burner here, he's just spent 2 weeks in Aspen, Colorado, so he reckons he's in a good space. But look at that, he's been monstered by the Gypsy.
Oh, SOS slides down the inside of Huggy Urquhart. So on debut, Andrew Waite is leading his first ever NZ V8 race, subbing for the injured Chris Handley. What a start to the weekend.
Well, he was only 4/10 off 4th place, and straight away showing that he is a very, very good young driver. Lots of experience too, Jamie, as you know about.
Out of kart sport, of course. Yes, he's a former national champion out of the New Zealand Formula Fords, where I think he finished 2nd a couple of times as the two Kernahans are going side by side here. Pither's ranging up in behind the McDonald's Ford. Oh, and the bonnet up on the BSL Racing Ford.
Buzz won't be happy with that. He'll have to have a light foot. Look at the driver's view there. He will need a light foot to just tiptoe around here and stay out of trouble.
Well, the bizarre things happening to Mike Lightfoot continue. Here's the peak antifreeze replay.
He did a demolition job himself.
He's got into the back of Chaos.
Yeah, from the demolition man, there was Chaos.
And you've got the flip top head happening, and he will have to go into the pits. That was that Kernahan that maybe Jeff Kernahan's locked up in front of both of them. Well, the action continues, and we're inside what? Only the first 2 laps. The Gypsy's working his way through. Kane Lobb is he started a long way back in this one with the marble draw from grid position 14.
Well, that's
the championship leader.
Yeah, that's the great thing about
it. Down on the grass.
I was just about to say, it's the great thing about the NZ V8 Utes is with the marble draw, it throws all the positions wide open from qualifying. So this is almost like a reverse grid race for the top contenders in the championship.
Oh, another one drops some wheels off the exit of Dunlop. Chris Pither is on a mission. He wants wins. He wants to try and narrow that championship gap, currently held by Kane Lobb. He's 142 points out of the championship lead. And I think they're onto the, 5th rear end in that race car?
Look at the 2 guys. There are only 38 points between them in the championship for 3rd and 2nd place. And they're both going to do the old double switcheroonie.
Oh, that's tight. On board with Junior.
Look, they're nudging each other all around the track.
Well, NZ V8 Utes in Russian means contact, apparently.
Crack-a-lackin', mate. That's the word for the weekend.
Oh.
Crack-a-lackin' stuff out here.
Oh, I thought Burner had got back around him. He actually had the inside line going to splash, but Pither's just stuck it on in there. There's the BSL team going to work to try and get that bonnet back down on the Ford Falcon. Well, so much going on in the opening laps. We've got Rob Jarvis returning to the championship out of Australia as Kane Lobb goes up the inside of Dirty Dave, 4 position. So the Mark Cromie holder now starting to work his way forward.
He wasn't happy with the tyres, and you see him there sliding. They put on some new rubber in the qualifying. That was better, but then he's suffering from understeer and oversteer. How's that? 3 wide.
Here's the peak antifreeze replay. So, well, all 3 of them probably hit each other at least twice in that sequence of corners.
Great performance here by Andrew Waite out of the TRS and into this, a tin top with a long boot. He's just burning into these Gogers.
Well, the mainline construction Holden has got a 2.4 second advantage over Peter Robb with SOS in third, and Chris Pither quite literally filling his mirrors because he went side to side at least twice.
And Spence, car number 22, right in front of Pither, just up in front of these guys. He went to a wedding in Raglan, so he missed testing, so he's just sort of catching up, really. And he's about to be monstered. Oh, more drama for Huggy.
Huggy's gone gardening. We've seen Chris Pither go off track a couple of times to make passes.
The Rocket Man, very smooth. He's also a director of the NZ V8 Utes. He says the only time people ring him is when someone wants to make a complaint.
Pither's got a run here on SOS, looking for another position. So this is the battle. As off in the background, that's Rob Jarvis going left, going right. Hold on to it, Rob.
Oh, there's contact there. He's just come back from Australia. He said he missed all the floods in Queensland, missed the cyclone, and he missed the track here in Manfeild.
Well, it's beautiful sunny conditions here in Manfeild, and the NZ V8 Utes are laying it on. Here's another peak antifreeze replay. So a little bit of a dispute there, I think, initially between Jarvis and Huggy, who makes contact with the tyres. And at the hairpin, it was Jarvis into the back of Jeff Kernahan.
Was that a Kiwi sandwich? Bit of revenge back on the old Aussie?
Oh, the old Trans-Tasman love-hate relationship's not going to get too much better out of that sort of sequence of laps.
Well, Andrew Waite's not going to wait very long for his debut win in the NZ V8 Utes. First race, first win. How cool is that?
Well, he's got some work to do because Pither is now up into the second spot. Pretty similar lap times.
This is a battle for points in the championship because SOS Spence there in car 22 is holding up the Team McDonald's Ford as Pither makes a bit of a break.
Kane Lobb's just moved through to 6th, and the championship lead ahead of Simon Byrne was 104 points going into the weekend. There is Junior Burner in the McDonald's Ford.
Very happy with this car speed. He was loving it.
Chris Pither, 142 points out of the lead, and then it's a bit of a gap back to Mike Linefoot, who's 394 out of the lead, as Junior's going to make a run on SOS up to Higgins.
Well, between Buzz, Precious and Spent, there's only 38 points between 4th, 5th and 6th in the championship.
Yeah, mistake there from Junior Burner. He's led SOS back in front. He just locked a break into Higgins and ran wide out into the marbles. Up track, up ahead, you can see the race leader being chased down by Chris Pither. The gap last time by was a 3.4 second advantage for Andrew Waite over Peter Robb. But Pither's the one to watch. He is closing in on the young series rookie on debut here this weekend at Manfeild for the NZ V8 Utes.
The great thing about Manfeild with his fantastic cambered corners, there's always a place to try and pass. One of the best tracks in the country. Where will Junior make his move to try and get round SOS? As he locks it up and he lets him through, and the Rocket Man tries to make onto the old train there.
It's exactly what Simon Byrne did at Higgins when Jeff Spence got back around him. So the gap to Wade, it was 3.4. Pither's taken 0.8 of a second and has just set the fastest lap at a 1:21.921. With just a couple left to go here on board with the Junior. Hard at work.
Look at the race face, the eyes there, mate. It's a big day for the hot glare at mighty Manfeild.
Can Andrew Waite hold on as another wheel gets dropped off in the background? Pither is chasing him down, the reigning series champion, trying to get some points back in that championship chase between himself, Simon Byrne and Kane Lobb. Pither's won the most races of the championship, but he's probably had more DNFs than anyone else as well.
He's had more bad lucks. He's had more rear diffs than drive shafts. They've actually put the new diff in, the new drive shaft, and I said to Ash Cairns, what's the call for the weekend? He said, no more diffs, no more drive shafts, no more broken axles, just wins.
Well, as Lightfoot's back in the pits, that bonnet repair has not worked. So, well, not a good start to the weekend for the driver. Currently fourth in the points gap, down to 1.4 seconds. Pither goes quickest again at a 1:21.4. Waite's last lap, a 1:22.6.
Don't forget, he's the local hero too from Palmerston North. Now lives at Southwood on the Gold Coast. He too missed all the drama over here, but can he gobble up Andrew Waite on the last lap, these last couple of laps? Turn it on for the Petrolheads here in Palmerston North. Mighty Manfeild, of course, and fabulous fielding.
Talking to Andrew and his dad Gary, he's had to throw everything out the window from his previous motorsport experience to try and get his head around driving these NZ V8 Utes, but he's now got a fight on his hand because the sinister black #1 Ford is chasing down the young rookie.
And he'll be absolutely keen to try and nail a win here, #1 in the Gallagher Ford, because that will really give him some extra points over Junior Byrne. He's now whipped up, looks like he's got past Spence.
Yeah, so Byrne is up into the 3rd position. Kane Lobb's still just back there in the 6th spot, so there's definitely going to be a point swing here. But can Andrew Waite hold off Chris Pither? We've got the last lap board coming up. Waite has done such a good job. You see the new number, that's Andrew's familiar number 48 that we've seen in Formula Fords, and the TRS, of course.
Yes, a lot of drivers have their favourite numbers for a variety of reasons. Like to keep it going.
So Waite defensive down into 1 as Michael Lightfoot rejoins out of the pit lane. Pither's going to try and do the bump and run and cross him over through to the S's. Has he got the line? Waite's going to try, but I think Pither's going to sneak through.
It's like drifting through there. It's fantastic. Hold on to it. Then the corner rolls the other way.
First part of the S's, Pither was sideways to complete that pass. That is just total commitment. Waite's going to try and poke it back up the inside at the hairpin.
I wonder if Andrew just got put off with the buzz coming out of the pits.
I don't know if he got put off, but it certainly would have had Chris Pither's eyes open because he just about pulled out alongside of him.
It didn't put him off.
So Pither leads, looking for win #6. Andrew Waite's done such a fantastic job continuing on from where Chris Hanley left off, and great news for Chris that he's up around walking at home, and you know, he's got a lot of work to do coming up, but I'm sure Chris will be enjoying watching this.
You'll be loving seeing his ute out there in 2nd place. Junior holding on to 3rd. Then it's got that chaos. Look at this 3 wide. Kane Lobb trying to make up some valuable ground here in the last lap too. The Rocket Man trying to hang on.
But out of the final corner, Dunlop, it's going to be Chris Pither. A storming drive from grid position 12 to take win #6 for the championship. That narrows the points gap. Andrew Waite, what a fantastic effort on debut with a 2nd place finish. And on the run down to the line in 3rd was Simon Byrne. From SOS, Jeff Spencer, Peter Robin, Kane Lobb. So Kane Lobb losing out in that last lap run to the checkered flag. Great side-by-side racing. Andrew Waite just couldn't quite get there at the end. For the Ford fans, Chris Pither taking out the win, just 0.7 of a second ahead of Andrew Waite on debut in Chris Hanley's car. Simon Byrne in 3rd, go back to Jeff Spencer. Peter Robin, championship leader, Kane Lobb.
Hey Chris, mate, congratulations, but work me through. 3 laps to go, 3.5 second deficit. You come through and got it.
Yeah, you know, I didn't actually know how many laps there were run to run at the end there, but when Jay told me there were 3 laps, it was a bit of a relief for me, and I knew I had the speed. We showed that in qualifying, so I just had to have a trouble-free run to the end, and we did that, so I'm stoked. Great way to get some points back on Kane.
Andrew, mate, congratulations. 3 laps to go. You're staring down your first ever win, your first ever race. What was going through the old mind?
Yeah, well, sort of, because I'm not used to all these cars, I didn't know who it was coming, but then after a while I gathered it was Chris, and I thought, uh-oh, here we go, it's all on now, but I just kept my mind forward and kept going, and nearly had it, had a go at last lap, and not quite. That was awesome, 2nd, my first ever race, it's cool.